Update: wife royally annoyed and won't talk to me. How do I resolve this? Previous post. First, I want to thank everyone for the input and support provided. I apologize for not providing an update sooner. My wife and I were able to bridge the gap in communication, primarily because I'm the person who cooks in the house. The day after my post, I opted not to cook breakfast instead of being proactive and cooking before she even wakes up. When my wife awoke and asked about breakfast, I suggested takeout so that the time I normally spend cooking for the day can instead be used to fix the communication issue we were having. Wife almost immediately apologized, after taking the time to go through her morning hygiene routine. She stated that she was annoyed because she felt that me just providing her with the money wasn't me supporting her in the way she wanted. I asked her why she didn't communicate that instead of reacting the way she did, and why she chose the silent treatment instead. She let me know that the day had been very tasking on her emotionally due to some ongoing with her brother and sister, and when I offered her the money, it was very overwhelming, and she needed the time to gather herself. I know my wife is more emotional than logical, and she processes emotions very differently than I do. I didn't question her about it. Just asked her if she needed more time to process everything. She said yes, so I gave her the option of letting her be to her mechanization until she's ready, or to continue our weekend routine as usual but in mostly silence so she can think, process what she needs to, and we can talk after. She chose to be left to her own mechanization. I'm not sure what all she did during the weekend, but Tuesday we talked more. She answered the questions I had, chief of them being what kind of support did she want. She said she just wanted to know that if something drastic happened, I'd be willing to help. She also said she has money to handle all the tax stuff, and the money she owes her mom, they've already agreed that my wife would pay that back by the end of the year, so she still has plenty of time. She also showed me the changes to her finances she made over the course of Monday and Tuesday, and from what she showed me, she's on track to be able to meet the financial obligations. For those who were asking if I had to do anything sketchy to get the money to give to my wife, no, that's under my monthly earnings and it was just a matter of centralizing it from the different sources to cash for her. Again, thank you all for the support, and for the awards in the comments. Too long did not read. Wife needed time to process the overwhelming day, and the blow up at me was a mistake. We fixed the issue by talking it out a few days later. That's nice to hear, man. Hope things work out for you too in the future. 70,000 is less than your monthly earnings. Is this USD? If so, do you have children? If you don't, are you willing to adopt a 45-year-old? Glad to hear you two programmed a resolution. Are you both German? This sounds like two computer AIs figuring out a power sharing system. One thing I don't get is that if you're married, her debt will hurt your credit, so letting that fester is going to hurt you both. I have some debt you can pay and I wouldn't be annoyed at all. My wife is more emotional than logical, and then goes on to explain all the logical steps his wife took to address her problem on her own. Great job working it out together and bridging the communication gap. Side note, what do you do for a living and is your job hiring? Lol. This is great to hear and I think it is good progress. From the update of the post, it sounds like your wife is looking for emotional support during this stressful time for her. I'm glad that it seems like she has it handled. I think I can understand it a little. Sometimes when a money issue comes up, the problem it isn't actually the money but rather the emotional stress. If one has a plan and means to deal with the money problem, the only thing left is the emotional stress. In that situation, someone offering more money isn't as helpful. If you are struggling with fixing the money problem itself, then an offer of more money is helpful. It sounds like your wife has the financial part handled but not the emotional part. Best wishes for the future. Completely off topic here, but hello fellow Washingtonian. It suggests she acts poorly on her emotions, not that she has more emotions than logic.